Alright, so I just brought my 1993 Ford 1520 tractor in the garage to do a few repairs on it. The main reason it's in here, it's been overheating for a while now, and it's kind of been like a problem for years, but only really when you're brush hogging, because that really takes a big toll on the engine, because it's running the engine hard, plus you're moving, and I try to go as fast as possible, especially with the hydrostatic transmission, just to get it done. So it overheats, and but now it's so bad it almost overheats just doing regular work with it that otherwise wouldn't be hard. So I think it's just the radiator's dirty, and I've pressure washed it before, but you can't really get to it because the battery's kind of in the way. So what I want to do, I think I want to take the loader. I want to bring this back outside and pull the loader off of it. And the other reason it's in here is it's got a leak. The hydraulic and transmission fluid, that's like the same fluid, are leaking out. It looks like from the back here, it almost looks like from the PTO, but let's try to figure out what's going on with this leak first, because I'm probably going to need to order some parts. So, this is all definitely wet. This is wet. But, this is perfectly dry right here. This all looks dry up in here. This thing might need to come off of here. I feel like the leak is under it. I don't know what would be under it, but this plate here, I actually added that because this, I don't know how well you can see it, this filter here, I probably smashed that off this tractor, I don't know, probably once every 2 years or something, or maybe once a year, and it's just so annoying. Once I added that plate, it hasn't happened. Clear here what the problem is. Yeah, look at this area right here. Look at the bubbles from me just pushing on that. So this plug here is rusted out. That needs to be replaced. Alright, so this needs to be replaced. Let's get that ordered. Alright, let's try to find the parts for that tractor. Alright, here it is here, part number 16. So let's see, they call that let's see if that part number does anything on eBay. Yeah, here it is. Alright, I just got the new part in the mail. So, there it is there. Alright, well that worked pretty well. That looks like that's in there fine. I bought two of them just in case. I have this one, but it's not leaking, so I'm not going to mess with it, because that requires pulling the PTO out, which probably isn't bad, but, you know, I got a rule against fixing stuff that's not broken, so. Alright, here's the dipstick right in front of the seat to check the fluid level, so I'm sure it's, so yeah, there's nothing showing on that dipstick. Alright, so it's got oil now. Alright, so this is supposed to be like a quick detachable loader. The whole time I've had this tractor, I've never had the need to take it off. But let's, I want to take this off to do a really good job fixing the front end of this thing. So let's figure out how this comes off. Alright, so it looks like the loader assembly itself kind of hooks on here on the front. So there's no hardware there, it's just like hooked in there. And right here, it looks like all they want you to do is take this bolt off, and then this plate will swing down, and the whole thing is released. And the but first, you know, the hydraulic lines there, and those are just like quick couplers, so they can just unplug with no tools. This type of plug, when you unplug these, it seals on both ends, so the hydraulics shouldn't move. But just in case something does move, none of my feet are under anything. Alright, I probably should have watched like an instruction video how to do this, but I feel like if this just got lifted up right here, you could back the tractor out of it. So let's try doing that. Plan is here to fix this grill. So this is all smashed up. So I got another piece of metal, about the same stuff with holes in it, but it's a little bit thicker, so that should be stronger. Plus I'm going to put some type of guard in front of that so it doesn't get all smashed up again. And the radiator needs to be cleaned. So Alright, so this is the screen that's supposed to keep the radiator clean, but you can see there the radiator is pretty dirty. That's probably most of the reason why this is overheating. As soon as that's cleaned out, it should run cooler. with this battery out of here, it makes it pretty easy to get to the radiator. Alright, so you can see how dirty this is. This is definitely why it was overheating. And it looks like there may be a small oil leak in that area there. So after I clean this up, let me try to fix that if there is one, because that will make dust stick to the radiator. Right, so this gun went bad for no reason, but the company sent me a new one. This one looks a little bit better, hopefully. The other thing about this, it just kills the battery all the time, so you have to hook it up to power. Tractor all clean now, so I suspect that hose right there is leaking. So let's start it up and take a look at it, and if it is, fix it before putting it all back together. Okay, so after running that for a minute, you can see it's leaking oil. So that was our oil leak right there, which was, the oil was getting on the radiator, and then the dust would stick to the oil, and then more oil would go on that dust, and that's why the radiator would clog up with dust, causing it to overheat. Alright, so let's get this section of hose changed. Maybe that side also. You know, this is as tight as this hose clamp goes. Let me get another one. The hardware on these battery terminals was messed up to the point where it wouldn't tighten down. Not so much this one, but definitely that one. But let's just change that hardware. See, this is why you always do the positive first, because if I had hooked the ground up, right there, that would be a spark. Alright, so that's on there nice and tight now with that new bolt. Before, it wouldn't get tight, so, you know, a trick that works sometimes, you'll take a little screw like this, and then just kind of jam it down between each thing. And that will make contact again. But this is the better way to do it. Alright, it's been running for a while here now, and there's no wetness on these hoses at all, so I'm confident that's fixed. So with the machine all apart like this is a good time to just kind of check the whole thing over, looking for any other leaks or just any other problems. So everything looks nice and dry on this side. Alright, so on the other side here, it's got one leak. You can see this return line here. Look at how that broke right off. Alright, I think I could just cut that shorter. Alright, that should be fine. And this thing here, this comes apart. Alright, all the leaks are fixed on this thing. Let's change the oil. Alright, so to keep track of oil changes, what I'll do is I'll write down like the date and the hours or mileage on a piece of paper, then put some packing tape over it. And that way, you know, having so many different machines is tough to keep track, but it's easy that way. Alright, I want to get some type of grill on this tractor. So I'm going to go right up to here. So about a foot is fine. And then for this direction, so we've got, I want to overhang that a little bit. So 6 plus 6 on this side plus 18. Alright, this is a little bit wider, but I think that should work. And there's a foot right here. And it's easy to cut that stuff square. All you gotta do is stay in the one row of line of circles. Alright, let me try to straighten this out. I'm pretty sure I never had the screen that went on this side, but let's see if I can make it. So let's do 19 by... Alright, so the hood stops at this height right here. Which is 10, but I'd like to be able to use these things to hold it down. So if I made it 19 by 11 1/4, then trimmed it. Alright, wait. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let me just make some hooks for the bottom so this actually stays in there. I got an idea to do this really easy. Alright, I'm good with that. Little spray paint, and that's good to go. Alright, that's pretty cool. I like that. That should keep, anything out of there that would be a problem. Alright, I'm good with that. Now let me get something to protect this grill. Alright, so I definitely got a little spoiled with that nice MIG welder I have. That certainly does a much better looking job. This is certainly fine. That's never going to break. Even, that welder there, that's just an AC welder. They also sell welders that look just like that can do DC. And the DC ones do a much nicer job also. They're like triple the price to buy the machine, but, it's kind of worth it. But for, I bought that a long time ago. For someone who's just wants to get into welding, that is a very affordable welder that can weld some thick material. So now the loader's on. I got to put these on. I kind of made a little mistake. I didn't label these at all where they go. So I guess there's a few different combinations here. Okay, it goes up and down, like up and down is up and down like it's supposed to be, but it's backwards. All right, so switching these two will be correct. All right, so I got a 50-50 chance of getting this right, so let's see what happens. Alright, so I just got this field finished up. So that went pretty well. My favorite part about it is the tractor's temperature gauge stayed under halfway the entire time. Before it was like, even if it wasn't overheating or close to overheating, it'd be like 80%. So that's great that this is definitely fixed. So I guess I'll kind of end this video. I'm just curious what kind of other equipment people are using for cutting fields like this. Now, I've tried a few times to get all my friends who do hay to come hay this, and they're never interested because they say, one, they can't get down the driveway because the driveway getting in here is pretty crazy, and two, they say they have too many accounts and they say it's not worth it. So I'm just kind of curious. That's something I've never done before, and I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting into it, but I think you got to buy like 4 pieces of equipment to do it, so I don't know if it's worth doing for just a few fields, but I'm sure I could pick more up. And as far as brush hogging, I'm just curious what other people are running for brush hogs. The first brush hog I ever bought, I bought new from Tractor Supply. It was like those yellow Country Line brands, and it was okay. I definitely was hard on the thing and pretty much destroyed it within maybe 4 years. Then I got a really good deal on this one. This is a Bush Hog Squealer, and I was thinking, oh, that's like the name brand of brush hog. This thing should last forever, and it's definitely tougher, but you know, I tore this thing up pretty bad. So I'm just curious what else is out there that's maybe better. I mean, that thing was like new when it was used, but it was like in perfect shape, and I guess I've had it maybe 4 years now, so it's looking a little rough for 4 years of working, but it is working, and I've never brought this tractor out brush hogging somewhere and came home with the job not finished, so that's the important part. Alright, well, on to the next job.